gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Hungry Hippo Ring. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the man who practices blunt force karma, Michael Magus.
Ooh, blunt force karma is the way to go. No need to be sharp about it. As Byron said, we are at the Hungaroring, which is the Hungry Hippo Ring. And this is round, I want to say 7 of the Sunday Championship.
I believe it's round 93.
It is round 7. So round 7 of the GT Challenge Championship here at ESR. These take place on Sunday afternoons. And got a little bit of a small field here today, but Max Simmons leads the championship by 42 points over Thomas Nopik. Nopik down in 17th place at the moment. Dan French is in 3rd place. And those are kind of your 3 protagonists in the championship. We're coming off a round at Nürburgring, which saw Nopik win for the 3rd time in a row. In fact, he has not lost a single race. It's just that he wasn't here for Kyalami or Oulton Park that has kept him out of the championship. In the team's championship is the Red Bull team with 377. That is Spencer Taft, Jeremy Reeder, and Ayrton Arsenault, who are on a 3-car attack today. AXRT, consisting of Xavier Castagna-Muniz and Albert Arjona in 2nd place. And Nitro Corsa, which is completely absent today, so you know they're not looking particularly amazing. They'll probably lose their 3rd place to 905 Racers, which is Dan French's team. And yeah. And then in the Cup Championship, which is for the quote-unquote slower drivers. Ayrton Arsenault, Spencer Taft leading the way, followed by Jeremy Reeder. It's basically the 3 Red Bull guys battling it out for that championship, and no one else is really in it. For the longest time, Oscar Tan looked like he was going to be in the fight, but DNFs at both the Nürburgring and Zandvoort have kind of derailed the BMW drivers' season, although he is up there in 3rd place, Byron. Having a good time?
That means that he's in dead place, if the Anchorman is to be believed.
So right now it is Bjorn Dale on pole, followed by Dan French, Oscar Tan, Xavi Castagna-Muniz, Gianmarco Silvestri, Marco Bessi, Spencer Taft, Max Simmons, Dominic Turcotte, Ayrton Arsenault, Albert Arjona, Jeremy Reeder, Sean Kenny down in 13th place. What is up with that? Then we got Dash Franzen, newcomer Remco. Gonna take a stab at this, but it's an IJMT start, and I'm really not sure how to say that. Ejimtima? I don't know.
Smith.
Anthony Willis and Thomas Nopik right now. It looks like Nopik is going to start at the back, so the fact that he didn't put up a lap time suggests to me that he is doing what we call a Mike Stoppmill thing, where, you know what? I need a little extra challenge. I'm coming from the rear.
Giggity.
Albert Arjona coming across the finish line here for his last chance to improve upon time, and he did not succeed. He'll start 11th place. So, Byron, how you doing today?
Not really sure yet. I've only been up for a couple of hours because I had a sleep in. So, I mean, the leftover chicken strips from yesterday were really good, and I'm having myself a nice cool water.
That's good. That's good.
That's about all I can really give you.
That's good. That's a solid start to the day.
And I can walk. So, I mean, that's positive.
Indeed.
I had physio yesterday, and I can still walk today. So, I mean, we're moving in the right direction.
All things are moving in the correct direction. Those who are unaware, Byron had some significant leg trauma, and he's
my quad tendon exploded.
He's recovering.
Some might even say I'm pre-covering. But they would be wrong.
They would be. And we got the 3D Speed Championship opening up this week. It's actually the first round is tomorrow. That's going to be exciting. And yeah, I'll be returning with my baseball series over on Twitch tonight. So there's some plans in the works. Hopefully I don't spend the entire stream sneezing, which, by the way, warning to the viewers here, I am still a sneezing wreck. So if there's a long period of silence from me, it's probably I'm sneezing my lungs out.
He's on the cocaine.
Nah. Now, see, like when it's the cocaine, you know how to stop it. This is more annoying. This is like, I'm feeling better today, and then like an hour later going, no, not feeling better. Not actually feeling better.
Well, might I recommend you switch your political stance from being so pro-histamine?
And we are off here at the start. Looks like Gianmarco Silvestri got off to a little bit of a shaky start there. But he is resuming his place on the front row now. And Marco Bessi. Looks like he didn't get a start, and now he's falling back. This is very weird.
Oops.
He had to hit the brake to avoid speeding, and we are on board with Oscar Tan as we go down to turn number 1. And there is a little bit of light contact there between Bjorn Dale and Gianmarco Silvestri. Looks like we're getting a little bit of lag here. Hopefully that'll pass. But Bjorn Dale has retained the lead, I should say, from Silvestri. Dan French trying to go around the outside. Silvestri gives him the hip check.
Well done.
And that's going to let Oscar Tan up into 3rd place and then into 2nd with a nice move around the outside of Gianmarco Silvestri. Big move from the BMW driver, who we were talking about in the lead-up, has had a rough run, paired DNFs recently, and today, it looks like this might be his day. What do you think, Byron?
Well, I don't think so, because this was all pre-recorded. Today happens to be Gianmarco Silvestri's day.
Nopik is up to 13th place after starting in last place, so he's carving his way through the field, as we would expect. He's been virtually unstoppable. He'll be on the tail of Jeremy Reeder now.
The unfortunate thing about it being Gianmarco Silvestri's day is that this is not the day that the race actually took place on. So I mean, it doesn't really work out.
Doesn't really work out as well as you'd like for him. Someone is falling back through the grid. Looks like that was maybe Marco Bessi. He's having not a good day, we'll put it that way.
Could be worse. Could have a chicken upside the head.
I mean, you're not wrong. Bjorn Dale under pressure from Oscar Tan, who is looking to try to become the first club driver to win a race overall this season. Down into turn 1, he's going for it. And that BMW looks like it is really delivering out here. Now, of course, I do have to mention, we're looking at 38-degree track temperature. This is going to be hard on the tires, so if you over-push early, it might come to bite you later on. We'll see if that's the case for Mr. Tan, but he is in the lead. Bjorn Dale down to 2nd place, Silvestri, French, and championship leader Max Simmons rounding off your top 5. And Nopik is up into 9th position.
Top 5 dead or alive?
Albert Arjona has fallen to the back of the field, so something has happened with Mr. Albert Arjona. I also see Reeder and Arsenault back there, so maybe something happening between the Red Bull guys and the AXRT Porsche. Yardale got the right livery today. That's good. He didn't have the right livery last race, so good to see him correcting that mistake.
And if he does it again, we'll put the fucking leashes on him.
Riding on board with Bjorn Dale.
Bjorn to be wild.
Bjorn to be wild.
Remember back in the day, playing Carmen Sandiego, there was a bad guy named Bjorn Toulouse.
Well, Tan is not pulled away, so the impressive pace early, maybe not a sign of things to come, but he does still have the lead. Dale 2nd, Silvestri 3rd in the Ferrari. Arjona, Reeder, and Arsenault making their way through the field. They've gotten past Jatima. Or in I'm gonna go with Intima. I'm assuming the J is silent.
Argentina.
That's where I'm going with that. We could just go with his first name, which is Remco. I do know how to say that, so you know that works.
Remco Dushko.
Legendary Remcos of UFC history. Remco Pardoel, the first ever jiu-jitsu black belt from the Netherlands.
And Bronco Sikitic.
And he won his first fight in the UFC and then lost to Royce Gracie. Which, I mean, you know, if you're going to try to out jiu-jitsu Royce Gracie back in the day, not the greatest play.
Not entirely. I mean, a lot of people just weren't up to that level, and now absolutely everybody's up to that level.
I don't know about absolutely everyone. There's still some people on the UFC roster that take Royce Gracie to out-grapple.
Well, is this okay? So is this pre-Sakuraba or pre-last fight against Sakuraba? Royce Gracie.
I mean, it's still somewhat now. Like his jiu-jitsu.
How many horse pills is he on?
His jiu-jitsu is still okay. It's just the rest of his fighting game is non-existent.
The easiest way to turn a black belt into a brown belt is punch him in the face.
Mm-hmm. And Royce Gracie never very good at the striking aspects of the game.
Correct.
Not a particularly good wrestler. Not particularly physical either. I mean, that was specifically why he was picked. As Silvestri goes down the inside of Bjorn Dale. So Dale... Oh! Contact! And Dale spins around Silvestri and retains second place, but he looks vulnerable into turn one. Dan French still running in third. Well, now running in third, I should say. Championship rival Max Simmons in behind him.
Sauntering into third.
And pick up Spencer Taft. Albert Arjona in the pit lane. Spencer Taft on the tail of Dominic Turcotte. Battle for sixth place. And then it's Castano Muniz and Nopik. We've lost Albert Arjona, so Arjona out of the race, and his struggling season does continue. As Nopik gets into the back of Xavi Castaño Muniz and spins him around. That looked very opportunistic.
I will allow and encourage it. Spin him right round, baby. Right round into the wall, baby.
Bjorn Dale still running in second place. He's now actually losing a little bit of ground. 1.8 seconds have now opened up. Oscar Tan in the lead. Good work by Oscar. Dan French, Max Simmons. Silvestri, Turcotte, Taft, Nopik, Kenny, and Bessie, your top 10. Xavier has gotten back underway in 11th place. You can visually see the gap opening up, so Oscar Tan's got a little something today, that's for sure. Up to 2 seconds. And BMW M4 is very strong. Anthony Willis in the pit lane. It's not good because the pit window is not open, so it suggests that Willis has significant problems.
And it would also suggest that he had to go through the pit door if the window's not open. He came in through the pit room window.
Dominic Turcotte still running in 6th place behind Silvestri. Behind him, that is Taft going side by side with Nopik. Nopik going around the outside, and I see a yellow flag. Did one of them end up getting tipped around here? We're going to find out when the standings page here updates for them. So they were 7th and 8th. And Nopik's in 7th. Taft looks like Taft was the one that got nudged around. He's following back out of the top 10. And that is him ahead of Jeremy Reeder now. So he drops in behind Xavier Castagno-Muniz and ahead of teammate and championship rival Jeremy Reeder in the club championship as Xavier gets a little bit wide there. And actually both the Red Bulls will say, thank you very much. We're going through. A little side-by-side rubbing between Taft and Reeder. Gentlemen, your teammates. Nothing too bad there. Dash Franzen also in the mix, as well as Ayrton Arsenault. So all three Red Bulls and the Audi of Franzen and the Porsche of Castagno-Muniz battling over this 10th position.
They all come around the corner in first place, and everybody shares the lead.
It's Anthony Willis up ahead of them in the BWT Mercedes, so he's returned from his pit stop. Now a lap down. And I don't want to say he doesn't have a race to race for, because, you do. But he's definitely a man who is out of the flow of everything right now and goes way off the track to let them through, but I think he hit the wall in the process, so that's not going to help him. Or it could be that he has unfixable damage because he went to the pits, and in ACC, the damage model doesn't allow certain things to actually be fixed. So it's possible there's something still very, very wrong with that car.
I believe he's missing his entire transmission.
It's possible. Unlikely, but possible.
Or perhaps is having a 150mm howitzer installed.
That would be a really good idea. I recommend taking Byron's advice on dirt guns.
Boom shakalaka. HE round will do a lot of damage to one of these little shitbox cars.
Oh yeah, they don't got the armor. That'll pen. That'll pen. So it looks like we're gonna get this battle for 10th place. A little bit of love for a little bit here. Taft leading Reeder. Then it's Castagno-Muniz, Franzen, and Arsenault. Now, it's interesting to note this is one of the few tracks where I had a pretty easy time telling the Evo 1 and Evo 2 apart. That's the two different Audis we have in the field. The Evo 2, a lot more static, stable. There you go, that's the word. Heading into the first corner. That's how you can usually tell it. Gianmarco Silvestri, drive-through penalty. That'll be for track cut, I'd imagine. This track does tend to breed some track cut penalties. There are some slightly odd penalties going on. In that regard, Dominic Turcotte and Thomas Knopik have both overtaken him, so he definitely hasn't gained much of an advantage through that track cut. But he will have to serve the penalty within the next 3 laps. That'll drop him. I imagine that'll drop him easily out of the top 10. As he goes in now, we're going to find out. On board with Gianmarco Silvestri as he heads in for his drive-through penalty. That's an aggressive approach to a drive-through penalty, I'm not going to lie. A little shake of the car there. Careful with that. Bjorn Dale under pressure from Dan French. Managed to open up a little bit of a gap to Max Simmons. And a pretty good gap back to 5th place Dominic Turcotte. We'll see where Silvestri has come back in here as we head across the sector bar. Which will give us our updated timekeeping. I'm going to be surprised. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to be surprised if he retained a top 10 position. And there he goes tumbling down the order there to 14th place. Actually, 15th. He ends up behind Remco.
He took a calculated risk, but boy, he's bad at math.
Well, I don't know how calculated it was. Gianmarco does have a history of getting some track cut penalties. So, like, if he is taking calculated risks, he needs to stop doing that and get a calculator. I don't know, because it has happened to him before. I don't really keep track of this kind of stat, but if I had to guess what driver had the most drive-throughs for track cutting, I think it is Gianmarco Silvestri. And that's not saying that he's trying to cheat or anything like that. It just is definitely his choice of lines are sometimes just on that tightrope of legality, and obviously the game will catch you for it. Ayrton Arsenault picks up 12th place from Dash Franzen. And Anthony Willis back in the pit lane. Might be down to 15 cars now. Oscar Tan still leading. Gap is closing. Bjorndale's catching up to him a little bit, down to 1.2 seconds. That was over 2 at one point. And of course, the danger man still might be the man back in 6th place, Thomas Nopek. We know he's got immense speed, didn't post a lap time, coming from the back, already up to 6th place. So definitely trouble. It'll be interesting to see how he plays the pit limiter, or the pit window, I should say. Do you go in for an early undercut, or do you stay out long for the overcut? I don't think we'll see him pit in the sort of normal time period, which is around 30 minutes left in the race.
I believe he will not even pit. He will go so fast that he doesn't even need gas. He'll just coast the rest of the way.
Well, it's not gas that we're pitting for. It's the mandatory pit stop for tires. You don't even have to take gas at the pit stop.
Well, in that case, what if he just goes so fast that he hovers above the track?
Now, I will
doesn't
say,
need to take tires either.
Well, no, it's not tire wear. It's a rule, Byron. He'll take a 2-minute penalty if he doesn't.
Well, what if he goes so fast?
Whoa, Dan French!
Yeah.
That was a bit of a torpedo. Bjorndale takes a little bit in the side there, but he does continue. It does seem like Bjorndale is legitimately slow into that first turn, though. Maybe braking a little bit earlier than the rest. I don't know, because we did see Oscar Tan get past there. We did see a very good attempt by Gianmarco Silvestri that caused a little bit of contact. And now we've had Dan French take that run. Now, the French one, I think that was a little bit of a cannonball there from French. A little bit of a dive bomb. But we'll see how this pans out, because that's definitely the attack zone. Nopek is overtaking Dominic Turcotte and moves into the top 5. But for those unaware, you probably should take fuel at your pit stops in these kind of races, because it makes the car lighter to start, allows you to go faster, and the pit stop has to be a minimum of 30 seconds stationary, so you can change tires in much less than 30 seconds. So taking a little bit of fuel, not a bad idea. There's a point where that's going to be limited, obviously. If you take, 45 seconds of fuel on board, then that's a different story. But you can take easily 30 to 40 liters at the pit stop without any delay.
19 milliliters of fuel. That's all you need. The efficiency of engines these days, it's incredible.
The race here, you're looking at probably 90 to 100 liters of fuel around this track for a 60-minute race. That would be I wasn't partaking in the race, so obviously I don't know specifically, but extrapolating my past experiences, that's what you're looking at. And so what I would probably do is start the race on, say, 60 liters of fuel, and then take in 35, 40 liters at the pit stop. Bjorndale looking back at Dan French. And despite the minor rubbing with French, he's actually made up some ground again on Oscar Tan. So I wonder if Tan has pushed the tires a little bit too much. Again, 38 degrees Celsius track temp, 31 degree air temp. This is not going to be easy. This is not going to be an easy day on the tires. Silvestri overtaking Remco for 14th place. So after his drive-through penalty, he's on the way back up.
Going for a ride in the Wayback Machine.
Dale still ahead of Dan French as they enter the final couple of corners here for the lap. Pit window should open in 28 seconds. So with 40 minutes left, we should have a pit window.
And when a pit window
Dale
opens,
going defensive into turn 1 makes sense.
When a pit window opens, another door closes.
And Bjorndale holds on to second place for now. Definitely is slow through that turn, though. It is definitely the attack zone I would be using if I was Dan French.
Pit window is open.
And the pit window is open. A little bit of contact there between Dale and French. Nothing too concerning. French really wants to get past him. Probably really would like to get someone between him and Max Simmons because that's a championship battle in a lot of ways. Like that is French's battle is with Max Simmons. It's not with Bjorndale necessarily. And it looks like French is going to go up into second place with a nice move there through turn 5. Excellent work. Nopik is also caught onto the back of this and is now on the tail of Max Simmons. That's the other championship contender. Meantime, that has given a little bit of breathing room to Oscar Tan, who leads the club and overall race here today. Spencer Taft is getting the best of the Red Bull battle for that championship in the club category. Picking up Dominic Turcotte as he heads into the pit lane. So he's going to go for the undercut strategy. Also in is Bjorn Dale. So could just be that Dale's tires are gone.
Well, they're definitely gone because I stole them from the pit lane.
You stole them like they were, well, stolen.
Correct.
Also into the pits is Ayrton Arsenault. As we look back at Thomas Nopek from the third place car of Max Simmons, which is temporarily in third place. Bjorn Dale was ahead of these guys before he pitted. And of course, we know Max probably going to go long. Probably going to go long.
It's likely.
It's very likely.
Max Simmons has a little red denominator next to his name up there, so that means he is actually on fire, and probably needs some medical attention.
Just means the camera is with him. I do really want ACC to import a to update their spectator function, because during this race I'm spectating live. I want to be a helicopter. I want when I'm doing the free cam. I want to be a helicopter chasing a car as I watch them. Give me an Apache.
With missiles.
The missiles aren't really necessary. I'll take machine guns. I accept like, cannons.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Trying to remember the helicopter from Black Hawk Down. Not the Blackhawks, but the little attack choppers. Trying to remember
the Cobras?
Cobras, there we go.
It's been a long time since I saw Black Hawk Down. They might not be Cobras, but that's the only one I can think of.
I don't think they're Cobras. I remember looking it up at one point as to what they were, but I don't think they were Cobras. Maybe we'll look it up when we're done the commentary today, and we'll share it with the people.
Probably Hueys.
I think they might have been Hueys. Simmons hanging on to third place for the time being, but is dropping way back of French and Tan. French, by the way, is all over the back of Tan, so Dan French has got significant pace here today. Nopick gets through in turn 6 and 7. Through the chicane, down the inside, makes the move. And it makes me wonder, like, is Simmons' tires just completely gone? Xavier Castagna-Muniz into the pit lane? And I mean, of course, the thing with Max Simmons is if his tires are gone, he's still going to ride it to the end of his pit lane, probably. He is like clockwork. We are down to Byron right now, so you are with just myself on commentary. Byron either someone at the door, maybe, or checking on some food. He is often cooking stuff, or needing to go to the bathroom. Definitely seems like Simmons is kind of slow right now. Sean Kenny now on his tail. Oscar Tan pits from the lead. A little bit earlier than I would be wanting to pit if I was Oscar Tan, because you do really want to make it to the halfway point of the race. Try and like even out the tire wear as best as possible. If you're the race leader and you don't have to like think about jumping someone during the pit sequences. But of course, if he was under tremendous pressure from Dan French, and he was, then not necessarily a bad idea. So French now the leader. Nopick second, Simmons third. Don't know who's in fourth because we haven't had a time update yet. Get that shortly. There we are, Sean Kinney. And Marco Bessi, Spencer Taft, Reeder. Should come out behind Gianmarco Silvestri. Well, maybe ahead of Gianmarco Silvestri. Maybe. Let's see. Because Silvestri did come in through for a drive-through, so he's kind of like, he's kind of the partial cutoff of the whole thing. Bjorn Dale is caught up to the back of one of the Red Bulls. Ayrton Arsenault. Bjorn Dale back in 15th place after that pit stop. Interesting. So he had a bad pit stop, and that's probably taking him out of consideration for a podium. Because him and Arsenault are legitimately racing. This is not a case where Arsenault's not handled his pit stop. Arsenault was one of the early come-ins, and so was Dale. I wonder if we, of course, saw Bjorn Dale have contact with Gianmarco Silvestri and with Dan French. So I wonder if that damaged the car. Max Simmons will be back at Sean Kenny. How far out in front is Nopick pulled to? It is 2.4 seconds already. So Tomas Nopick is currently on the charge. Best lap of a 44.8. Just did a 40.2. Arsenault under pressure from Bjorn Dale. Now, so this is a case where, like, I'm wondering, and I've talked about this before, the knowing your race, the racecraft, and so on that goes into this. If you're Ayrton Arsenault, you've got this car that, forgive me for saying it, looks faster, isn't really your race, because Bjorn Dale, of course, was fighting for a podium before the pit stops, and then, you know, seems to have had a particularly long pit stop, and now has Arsenault out in front of him. And this is not a championship rivalry thing. I mean, I guess it kind of is. Arsenault's kind of in this weird place where, like, championship-wise, he's been doing quite well. Punching probably above his weight, but, like, he needs to think about the club championship, and realistically, fighting with Bjorn Dale might just cost him time to the guys that he's really racing, the likes of Jeremy Reeder and Spencer Taft, because this is the time he should be putting up really good laps right now, because he is on the fresh tires. They're on their old tires still. Let's see what his lap time was. 46.3. That's not a bad lap. Maybe he can hang on to it. But you also don't want to risk contact. And I think he thought better of it there. I think he was going to defend that hard. Realize that, you know, that's Bjorn Dale. That's not really someone I'm fighting with. And discretion being the better part of valor in that case. Sean Kenny in the pits. As well as Jeremy Reeder. You can see Dale not exactly streaking away from Arsenault, but there's a clear pace advantage there in that Porsche. And I do think Arsenault made the right call to focus on his own race, what's important for him for the championship battle, what's important for him in the team's championship, and not so much on the solo car entry pro car of Bjorndale. So it'll be interesting to see where Kenny comes out in relation to Bjorndale. I imagine it's going to be ahead because, of course, again, it looks like Dale has really had a bad pit stop. And that's going to put him out. It looks like he is going to come out behind Dominic Turcotte and Tan. Tan behind Turcotte also is interesting. So a couple of people not having the greatest of pit stops. I'm going to risk a little spoiler look at the stats page and see if I can...
Spoiler alert, Max Simmons has had the best pit so far.
So let's see here. What was Bjorndale's pit delta? Bjorndale's pit delta was a minute 13.666. Sean Kenny's pit delta, or I should say Ayrton Arsenault's pit delta, sub a minute. Okay, so Ayrton Arsenault, quickest pit stop of the day, thumbs up, did his thing. And I'm looking for Oscar Tan. Oscar Tan's also very long, 1:32.235. Wow. Okay. So yeah, some people either, I don't know if it's repairing damage or just not getting a very good feel for the pit lane, but it is in play. Jeremy Reeder comes out ahead of Ayrton Arsenault. They are battling for 13th at the moment. Silvestri's in the pits along with Taft, Simmons, and Nopik. Wow, Simmons is in the pits with 9 minutes left in the pit window, Byron.
I don't understand it. I'm vaguely angry.
Vaguely angry. Dan French, Marco Bessi, Dash Franzen are all going to overcut Max Simmons, of all people.
He's trying a new strategy where he has one tire changed and 3 drops of fuel added, and he's right back out there.
Well, that wouldn't work very well because it's a minimum pit time.
Well, you say that. But the rest of the time, he's
true.
chucking down 3 Slurpees. You know those big old fast cans they got for dumping gas in there? He's got that full of Slurpee.
That'd be intriguing. That would be intriguing, not gonna lie. So where does Nopek factor into this? That is the question. Looks like he is in 4th. So he's the leader of the pit stoppers. Not Oscar Tan. Not Bjorndale. It's Nopek, Turcotte, Tan, Simmons, Kenny, Castagna Muniz, Taft, Dale, Reeder, Arsenault, Silvestri, and Remco. We now have Dan French in the pits. So we'll see where he mixes in. Should be in with a sniff of the lead. Dash Franzen also in the pit lane. So it looks like maybe Marco Bessi trying for the really long run, but that looks like a bad out. It will get him some laps led for the first time this season.
Which are about 19 points per lap.
No. That would be ridiculous. Shout out Sean Kenny, making some good moves, working his way up through the field. Up in 8th right now. That'll probably be about 6th place once the whole thing sorts out. As there is Kenny and Max Simmons rumbling over 7th place. Kenny with the overtake, and Castagna Muniz looking to move in as well. Muniz made out like a pirate on the pit stops. Now, the question, of course, for the guys who pitted early and maybe made up some ground in the pit stops, how much of that was competent pit stop work And how much was that getting off of the tires before they went on to their drop-off period? And how bad is the drop-off period at the end of the race going to be? Because Castano Muniz came in quite a bit earlier than Simmons or Sean Kenny. Will he be able to fight with them come the end of the race as Marco Bessi is in the pit?
I believe the real question is, how many of these guys are just jacked on the steroids?
All of them probably.
Fair enough. That is understandable.
Sean's got the Rona, so we wish him all the good luck.
I had it last year. It wasn't any fun, but I was double immunized at that point, so it wasn't very fat. It wasn't very lingering either.
That's good. Riding on board with Oscar Tan. Currently shown in 4th place. I think he'll move into 3rd as they make their way past Marco Bessi. Well, he's in the pit lane. There it is. So not too bad. Turcotte putting the pressure on. So after the pole pit stop shakeout, it looks like it's going to be Dan French leading from Nopik, Tan, Turcotte, and Kenny. That's your top 5.
You're saying that Kenneth has the frequency?
He has the 5th frequency. And there is the combination as Bessi slides down the charts. Top 10 is rounded up by Simmons, Taft, Castano Muniz, Bjorn Dale, and Jeremy Reeder. So Dale is the big loser in the pit stop exchanges. He drops 6 places. And the big winner in the pit stop exchange is probably Castano Muniz, who was not the top 10 and is now suddenly in 8th place.
Well done. Nope, looks like Willis is going to have to take a penalty. He's not pitted.
I think he's out of the race.
What?
He's been sitting in the pits for 13 laps. French and Nopik battling for the lead. Tan is a little bit back of them in 3rd place. So not really looking like it's going to be a race win here for Oscar Tan, but you know what? A podium, which would be his first in the ESR, would still be a very nice consolation prize.
And also, and not like an actual prize.
True. As Dominic Turcotte thinking about the move, Aston Martin versus BMW. Turcotte's got the inside line. That is the preferred line. Tan squeezes him as much as he can. That's going to force him out wide. But he keeps a little bit of extra speed, and Sean Kenny is now in the field here. 3 wide doesn't come to really anything. That's a risky move though by Sean Kenny, of course, who picked up a penalty at Nürburgring for much the same situation when there was contact. So a little bit risky. And this whole fight has brought Max Simmons back into play.
This fight brought to you by Kellogg's. Oh, wait. No, sorry.
Frosted Pettis Flakes.
Frosted Maxi Wheats. It's literally just a giant field of wheat that we put icing sugar on. Eat it, go.
Boy. Somehow that would probably still sell.
Probably. You just got to market. It's vegan. It's organic.
Organic icing.
Yep.
Is there such a thing as vegan icing though? Because usually there'd be a dairy product in there.
Just dump some raw ass sugar on something. Say it's vegan, ethically sourced, organic icing.
Drive-through penalty for Sean Kenny. No.
Don't like that.
The frequency, Kenneth. You did not find it. Dan French still in the lead, looking for that victory. Kenny into the pits to serve his drive-through. That'll almost certainly drop him out of the top 10, I would think.
Well, then maybe they should make it a top 11.
Well, there is a top 11. It's just, we use top 10 because, I don't know, human nature to go with a decimal system. Oh, no! Sean now has a stop-go 30-second penalty. He sped on the drive-through.
That sounds like a bunch of garbage.
Sean Kenny's day was looking so good, but it is coming down around him now.
I demand a recount.
I imagine that'll put him in last place. If not last place, then maybe ahead of Remco. That's probably about it. Meantime, French still hanging on. Oscar Tan still hanging on against Dominic Turcotte as well. Simmons in that mix, along with Castagna Muniz and Bjorn Dale and Spencer Taft. All very close together. Bit of a gap back to Jeremy Reeder, then to Marco Bessi, Ayrton Arsenault, Gianmarco Silvestri, Sean Kenny, who has another penalty to serve, Dash Franzen, and Remco. There is Sean Kenny coming in for his stop-go penalty.
It's all right. I'll let him skip it if he wants.
You can't do that, Byron.
I have the power. I have the authority.
You do not have the power.
By the authority vested in me by me. I hereby waive all penalties to Sean Kenny.
Byron Dirksen using the William the Conqueror logic.
Yep.
Completely self-invested power. That is a big shame for Sean Kenny. For a while there, it looked like Sean Kenny might be legitimately a championship threat. Just through consistency, but or at least top 3 threat or whatever, but comes in today in 5th place, tied with Castagna Muniz. They'll lose out on that draw. They'll probably also slip behind the likes of Turcotte and perhaps Arsenault. This battle for 3rd place getting hectic. Completely missed that Turcotte had overtaken Tan. My apologies. He is now on pace for his 2nd podium of the season. Came in 2nd at Oulton Park. Castagna Muniz going side by side with Bjorn Dale, trying to defend there. Max Simmons trying to get past Oscar Tan. Looking for a way. Looks down the inside. Tan's going to hang on for now. French still in the lead. Hanging on there. Lap time looked pretty good. Best lap of 44.8, and that last lap was a 45.3, so about a half-second differential. Not the easiest track to overtake, although I think Hungaroring does get a bit of a bad rap because in Formula 1 cars, it's virtually a no overtaking track. But in GT cars, I think there's some room to wiggle as there looks like there is some catching up to a lapped car going on there. Not sure who that would well, by process of elimination, that would be Sean Kenny. And we'll see if he catches it.
Would you say it would be easier or more difficult to overtake than versus reverse Macau?
Oh, easier. Nothing would be harder than reverse Macau. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. That would be that. No, there'd be no overtakes there at all. Tan dive bombing on Turcotte, and I mean dive bombing because there was no way he was going to stay on track there. And Max Simmons picks up 4th place as a result. Bjorn Dale and Castagno Muniz also battling it out there, and things stay status quo. Oh, maybe not! Tan got really awkward there. It forced Xavi to take a little bit of evasive maneuvers, and Bjorn Dale almost had a sniff. Be interested to see what pace Marco Bessi's putting up right now, because he's got the freshest tires of the bunch. Be interested to see if that's going to pay dividends throughout the race. He's down in 10th place, less than a second behind Jeremy Reeder.
But more than a second behind everybody else.
Well, the top 8, yeah. Oh boy, yeah. So I just said less than a second. It was 7/10. Now it's 4/10. Bessie is coming on strong.
Dun dun.
And Reeder wasn't even one of the particularly early pit stoppers, so there's a lot of different tire statuses going on right now. Max Simmons looking to the inside. I don't think there's really anything there. Actually, if you look back there, you can see that is Bessie at the tail end of this train now, actually, which is now includes Reeder as well as Bessie.
What about Thomas the Tank Engine?
The Dominic train going on right now. Turcotte the Tank.
Have you seen the Thomas the Tank Engine mod for Skyrim?
I have.
Fucking hilarious.
This is a Thomas the Tank Engine mod for just about anything you can think of.
That's probably true. Anybody not familiar, they replaced all the dragons with Thomas the Tank Engine. So instead of hearing dragons roar or whatever, in the distance, ominously, you just hear choo choo.
There's a mod for BattleTech that creates a new mech called Thomas the Wolf. And it's a Timberwolf, but instead of the the iconic Timberwolf look, it's Thomas the Tank Engine with the missile launchers on his shoulders. A lot of interesting action here. Reeder looking for, or not Reeder, Taft, pardon me, looking for a move on Bjorn Dale there. We'll see if Bjorn is still weak into turn 1. It looks like he might be. That Porsche just doesn't have a lot of straight line speed. I know it's generally one that does suffer a little bit on the straight lines. And but for now, he does hang on against Spencer Taft. Simmons looking for a move on Turcotte. Nothing doing. Is anyone else going to join this train? Doesn't look like it. Ayrton Arsenault is actually falling further behind this train. So, it doesn't look like...
Sorry, I got something in my throat. I was going to say I want the person at the front of the train here to slow way down and block everybody from going anywhere and just be a total menace. It would be hilarious.
Pull the Fernando Alonso from the last race. If anyone needs proof that Monaco doesn't have a lot of overtaking opportunities, Fernando Alonso intentionally went 2 seconds a lap slower than he could have and was not overtaken. Formula Grand Prix Monaco. Oscar Tan getting a little out of shape there. Xavier Castano knees looking as we're a little stiff, but nothing doing yet. But yeah, it looks like Arsenault, who did come in very early for his pit stop, cannot keep with this group. And Bjorn Dale getting out of the slipstream there. That was a mistake, because you're going to lose a spot to Spencer Taft. And maybe Jeremy Reeder! Oh, Reeder almost killed his teammate. That would not have been a popular move in the Red Bull pits, I don't think.
Would not
Dan
recommend,
French
but it is funny.
continues to lead. From Thomas Nopick, that is Sean Kenny in the background, who is lapped. Is Arsenault? Yeah, well, Arsenault is now making up some ground. Let's see if is Arsenault losing ground or gaining ground to Gianmarco Silvestri. Losing ground to Silvestri. Looking down the inside, Nopick trying to get the job done here into the last two corners. French trying to hang on the inside. Yeah, he will. I just don't think you can get around the outside there. French hanging on against the pole.
I didn't know he was Polish.
Thomas Nopick is.
Was that why he's always on pole?
Might be. Well, he wasn't on pole today.
It's just a genetic predisposition. Get all pulled up.
French hanging on.
Do you think he dances with a pole?
Something has happened to Spencer Taft as well as to Castano Beniz. I imagine they may have had contact because Taft has dropped out of the top 10 and Castano Beniz back to 9th place. So something happened there. Did not catch it on camera. On board with the Porsche of Thomas Nopick.
Oh Lord, he coming. He's only 1/3000th of a nano parsec behind.
As I don't know what that translates into actual time. It might be. It might be.
Well, parsec actually is a measurement of distance.
Or time, depending on if Star Wars gets involved.
No, it's a distance thing. The whole he did the Kessel run in 82 parsecs or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like he's such a good pilot that he figured out a route to a place that's even like it does end up being time, but he's doing it faster over distance.
Ah. Okay.
So he found a shortcut that no one else knew about.
But then, what is that a brag about how fast the ship is?
See, that's where it all kind of falls apart, is because they didn't follow their own internal logic.
Gotcha.
Unless they're also trying to take into account that it can, like, it is faster, but only because he's so good at finding routes to places.
I see. Star Wars logic doesn't always make entire sense.
No, including deleting all of their history because Disney was like, no, we're going to do our own thing.
I mean, admittedly, some of the legacy stuff was like very contradictory because you had different authors doing different things with the same characters. Oh, close there. Nopick is really pushing French through these corners. I'm gonna say I don't think French is gonna hang on here, but he's got 6.5 minutes to do it. We'll see what he can do.
Just power slide the car and make him T-bone you, and therefore you win.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
We'll give you a retroactive win based on your legacy.
At that point, Max Simmons might win. Not a ton of time, though. Let's see. And like I said, this is not the easiest track to overtake on. It's not what Formula One makes it out to be, but there are not that many drive-through penalty for Oscar Tan. That would probably be for track cuts. Pick up Spencer Taft there, who is trying to hang on against Gianmarco Silvestri. As well as teammate Ayrton Arsenault. Well, not trying to hang on with Arsenault, trying to hang on to Arsenault.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Down the inside he goes. I wonder if that was a team order, because Arsenault gave that up pretty easily. We know Arsenault's tires are kind of gone, or at least they probably should be. He's one of the first ones to pit. And that means he's got some of the older tires on the field right now. So maybe that was a switch ordered by the team to get Taft ahead of him. That'd be a hard call to make, though, for Red Bull, because I mean their three drivers are the three protagonists in the club championship. So it's not like, in a very real way, they are each other's rivals. Silvestri was going side by side there. Did he get Arsenault? No. Arsenault's still hanging on in the background. Be nice if we gave the camera on that instead of Taft. But time being, that's not the case. We can see the background, though.
Lovely foliage.
Mm-hmm. French still leads for Nopik, Simmons in third, Turcotte fourth, fifth for Bjorn Dale. As Oscar Tan serves his drive-through. That'll knock him out of the top 10. I would still really like it if we get Arsenault and Silvestri on camera, because we're not really even looking at that battle in the background anymore. There we go. You're with me, camera guy. You'll love my nuts. Ferrari v Audi. Nopik, by the way, has fallen to 1.5 seconds behind French, so maybe a mistake there. Arsenault looking back at Silvestri. Two of the up-and-comers in the ESR ranks. This will probably be Arsenault's last. This and the upcoming 3D Speed Series will probably be the last Arsenault gets to be silver rated, as he's put together some very good performances.
I'm gonna call him Gold Muffler.
I am waiting for them to bring the Gold Club, the Gold Cup number plate to the game, actually, because they're doing that in real life now in GT Racing.
Well, it should only be 9 or 10 years before it gets in the game.
I hope not. ACC's been pretty good about updating stuff pretty quickly, so I think we'll get it sooner rather than later. Arsenault's still hanging on. He's got the oldest tires out there, but still trying to keep that top 10. Would this be the first time the Red Bull guys have actually all gotten a top 10 finish? Because right now they're on pace to do it. Reeder up in 6th place, Taft in 9th, Arsenault in 10th. Let's see here. It would be. They've done 2 out of 3 before, but never gotten all 3. They had Arsenault and Taft at Kyalami. They had Taft and Reeder at Silverstone, Arsenault and Taft at Zandvoort, and Taft and Reeder at Nürburgring.
Leaders on final lap time.
So clearly, this team's best days are when Spencer Taft goes well. Because all 4 times it's happened, Taft has been one of the drivers.
They can take advantage of the Taft draft.
Dan French coming up to lap some traffic there. That is Sean Kenny as well as Remco. I don't think we saw how Kenny got his lap back, but we also do know that Nopik fell back at French, so probably contact between the 2 leaders. And has put Sean back in front of them. Sean ducks out of the way of Dan French. Will continue on his way.
Carry on, my wayward child.
Haven't gotten the checkered flag yet, so he'll complete this lap, and then he'll be on his +1.
Dagnall. Oh, no, it's Yeah, it is Dagnall. Dagnall French. Your winner by way of driving a lot. That guy.
Your winner by way of being fast. He's the best around on this particular day. So, Gianmarco! Arsenault kind of turned into that, but that might end up before the stewards as well. Oscar Tan takes advantage of the situation. Dash Franzen takes advantage of the situation.
Hansen Franzen.
Critical moment there for Arsenault. Last lap of the race, and he gets tipped into a spin. Might be one of his own doing, but I have made a note of it for review on the stewarding report.
Snitch.
Well, I'm the steward. I can't snitch to myself. So. It's being a snitch when I tell Jack or the other stewards about it, but I am actually the steward, so I cannot snitch to myself.
He's a snitch.
So Dan French is your winner from Thomas Nopik, Max Simmons, Dominic Turcotte, Bjorn Dale, Jeremy Reeder, Marco Bessi, Xavier Castagna-Muniz, Spencer Taft, Gianmarco Silvestri, Tan, Franzen, Arsenault, Remco, and Kenny. Somebody left, and it's throwing off the numbers here. Well, you know what? I've got the results right here. As we're waiting for Remco to finish up the race for it to be official, but I think we're pretty much there. Dan French, Thomas Nopik, Max Simmons, Dominic Turcotte, Bjorn Dale, Jeremy Reeder, Marco Bessi, Xavier Castagna-Muniz, Spencer Taft, and Gianmarco Silvestri, pending potential penalty, are your top 10. And I will apply the scoring here, and Byron will kindly fill a little bit of time.
I abjectly refuse. So hurry up. Hurry up. You should have done this before.
No, I can't, because then I know the results.
Unprofessional. We'll make that Martin guy do it.
Max Simmons is still your championship leader. Kind of figured that. Again, he came in today 45 points up. But the gap is shrinking. The gap is down to 38 points back to Thomas Nopik. Dan French, who gets his win today, versus Cherry Bubble there, is in third place. Xavier Castagna-Muniz in fourth, followed by Dominic Turcotte. Then Sean Kenny, Bjorn Dale, Spencer Taft, Ayrton Arsenault, and Jeremy Reeder, your top 10. In the teams championship, Red Bull still way ahead. No one else is really coming for them. AXRT and 905 are the top 3 right now. Then in the club championship, Jeremy Reeder takes over the championship lead. He's 2 points ahead of Spencer Taft, with Ayrton Arsenault in third on 116. Then it is Oscar Tan on 84 and Dash Franzen on 45. That's your top 5. So tune in 2 weeks' time. We'll have another race from Imola. Good track. And also the 3D Speed race kicks off tomorrow night. So if you've not signed up for that, get with me real freaking quick, because we got to do that. Byron, your final thoughts on this race?
Drink more water.